Hey everybody, it's Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz, and are we not off to a great start this weekend? Lots has happened since our last update. As you can see here, the total cryptocurrency market cap jumped up by maybe just shy of 10 billion, but by quite a bit. There was a very sudden and a very quick influx of capital and investment. You can see Bitcoin is up over 5% on the day. XRP is up as well. Ethereum up nearly 10%. EOS 13%. And at the time of this recording, as you can see here, Litecoin is up over 17%, but it really was closer to 30%. It saw about a 30% rise over the course of 24 hours. As you can see here, it's been flat over the course of the week, and over the 7-day timeline, it is up over 35%. So as far as major, let's call them top 10 or so projects, Litecoin has been the clear winner. We are going to talk about that from a bunch of different perspectives. We're also going to talk about what's next at a macro level for Bitcoin. We're going to get Chris's take on what the recovery looks like and whether or not it's possible. But let's begin here with a bit of a different take. The Independent is not usually somebody that covers cryptocurrency in great detail, but they did this piece here. Bitcoin price surge. Why did cryptocurrency markets suddenly skyrocket? So the price of Bitcoin has risen by almost 10% in the last 24 hours, marking a significant change in fortunes for the world's most valuable cryptocurrency. Litecoin, Ethereum, and Ripple were among other cryptocurrencies to see major gains following months of market-wide stagnation. So these latest gains saw Bitcoin rise more than $300 to $3,663 at the time of this article's writing, though this still represents a fraction, yes, of the $20,000 highs reached in December of 2017. It is unclear whether the price surge is sustainable. This could, after all, just be we're in the middle, possibly of a Bart Simpson pattern. Who knows? Though Bitcoin's increased trading volume, as we discussed the other day, could be a signifier of more market movements still to come. Inflation-stricken Venezuela has helped push up Bitcoin trading volumes, posting its highest volume to date this week, and the South American country recently pegged its national currency to the government-launched Petro cryptocurrency in an effort to prevent economic collapse. They link to that in this article. You can read more about the Independent's coverage of that here if you so choose. Venezuela pegs bolivar to cryptocurrency to save country. Here we are now on coinounce.com with another perspective. Biggest tech companies entering cryptocurrency, BTC to the moon. So this is perhaps, we see these sudden price jumps and these spikes, and it's hard to really say. At the end of the day, I think it's just really one major whale, or whether it's an organization or a corporation that made a sizable investment. You can't always analyze these things to death, but sometimes it's the confluence of a few different things and a few different factors. So some of the world's biggest technology companies are entering into the cryptocurrency and blockchain space. Let's look at some of them and see how it would affect Bitcoin and the overall cryptocurrency and blockchain industry. Of course, we talked about Twitter and their CEO, Jack Dorsey, who was on the Rogan podcast the other day. The Joe Rogan Experience talked about how really the native currency of the internet is something that he viewed as being inevitable. It's going to develop one way or another. And he does feel that Bitcoin has the best chance of adopting that position, of claiming that position. What's also really interesting, and something that we didn't quite talk about as a follow-up, was that Jack Dorsey took part in the Lightning Network torch relay, which is something going on around crypto Twitter at the moment. So people are sending Bitcoin payments from one person to the next, adding a little more Bitcoin on each time using the Lightning Network. He received that payment and sent the payment ahead using the Lightning Network to Elizabeth Stark of Lightning Labs. So here's a guy that's very much involved in the space, and who knows what they're up to. They could have other tricks up their sleeves as well. Then looking at Facebook, so they've acquired a company called Chainspace, which is a London-based distributed ledger technology company. Facebook has been for a very long time expanding their overall approach to blockchain, and Facebook has a lot of ways in which the blockchain technology could be very amazing for the company. You have some estimates suggesting that there are around 60 employed at Facebook specifically looking at blockchain technology. And of course, in the past, we've covered the fact that they have poached arguably poached. We're not 100% sure, but they have certainly taken talent over from Coinbase in the past. So certainly they have their targets set on something very specific. It's just hard for us to pontificate as to what that is from an outsider's perspective. But they're up to something at Facebook, no doubt about that. Google now, they said this week that they are releasing a search engine tool that lets you search the 8 top blockchains. They're also looking into how to bring all that data together, look at the metadata of it, understand what the best use cases are by looking at how people are actually using blockchain today. It's quite interesting to see that Google is spending a lot of time and effort focusing on that one area. Google also can increase their bottom line exponentially by using blockchain technology. So a few quick examples there. You can also read about Telegram and Baidu, what they're up to. But the point is that, in my opinion at least, and I suppose in the opinion of this author here, things are really only moving in one direction. And at a very binary level, do you think major tech corporations are going to either adopt or reject blockchain technology? When it comes down to it, I think all of them are increasingly becoming more and more invested in terms of blockchain technology and what it can do for them to help them make money. That's the incentive that interests them more than anything, I'm sure. Okay, moving on to the biggest winners of this last pump in the market. Litecoin specifically, as per ambcrypto.com, skyrockets by 30%, surges into the top 5 past Bitcoin Cash and EOS. At the time of this recording, it's down below EOS, as we saw here. So it's currently sitting at number 5, but it actually did trade spots with EOS. Getting as high as number 4, and it has passed Bitcoin Cash yet again. I know that the volatility these days and the sudden price fluctuations mean that these spots are a little bit less defined than they used to be, although XRP is getting a little bit cozy here at number 2. It's been above Ethereum for a little while now, but back to the article at hand. So Litecoin, which is often described as a digital silver to Bitcoin's gold, has seen an exponential growth of 30.72% at the time of this article's publication and jumped 3 places on the global coin ladder to take the 4th spot. The coin's market cap has not gone past the 2 billion mark since early January, and now the coin's market cap is the highest it's been since November of 2018, the beginning of the dreaded crypto winter. I would argue that was the extension of the dreaded crypto winter. It began much earlier than that. So the price of Litecoin jumped about $10. It's at about $43, which is its highest point since the November hard fork that set off a market collapse. Speaking of the hard fork, Bitcoin Cash is one of the coins Litecoin has overtaken in its sudden surge to the top fray of the coin ladder. And despite the close race, Bitcoin Cash can also be seen riding the collective market bullish high and has seen its own wave of green. If you're interested in some of the other gainers, that's what this article really talks about for the rest of its length. So you can read about EOS, you can read about Bitcoin Cash, you can read about Binance Coin and Tron, as well as Stellar Lumens, which is mentioned at the very end here. Taking a look at Forbes, which is getting into the news here. Litecoin is surging, boosting Ethereum, Ripple's XRP, and Bitcoin. Here's why. Litecoin, the Bitcoin rival founded, I don't know about the rival, it's a complementary technology founded by the widely respected managing director of the Litecoin Foundation, Charlie Lee, has popped higher today, rising 10% over the last 24-hour period. Make that 30% as far as the most optimal snapshot, boosting the wider cryptocurrency market, including Ethereum, Ripple's XRP, and Bitcoin. Litecoin's leap higher comes after news yesterday that the Litecoin Foundation and Beam, a software development outfit which has its own cryptocurrency, has officially decided to work together to explore whether Litecoin should implement the protocol Mimblewimble, named after a Harry Potter spell that stops people from spilling secrets and designed to improve privacy and scalability. So we touched on this issue of confidential transactions, whether Litecoin was becoming a privacy coin. It looks like they're going to be implementing at least that offering for those that want to avail themselves of that optionality. So, quote, "We have started exploration towards adding privacy and fungibility to Litecoin by allowing on-chain conversion of regular LTC into a Mimblewimble variant of LTC and vice versa." That's courtesy of Beam in a Medium post. Quote, "Upon such conversion, it will be possible to transact with Mimblewimble LTC in complete confidentiality." If you want to read that whole thing, here it is available on medium.com. Litecoin Foundation and Beam cooperation announcement from February 7th. You can read about that as well here on Cointelegraph.com. Litecoin Foundation and Beam partner to explore new protocol, comma. By the way, LTC price also soars 30%. Really, I think this is the kind of thing that is serendipitous, and nobody can really anticipate these major injections of capital in the cryptocurrency space. So I think this was the confluence of good news and good timing. And when that happens, it all comes down to chance, in my opinion. I think the winner this time around, just because of what was going on around it, has been Litecoin. Maybe next time it'll be something else. But to be at the intersection of really good news and really positive market movement, yeah, you can get 30% rises over the course of a day when you're lucky enough to be surrounded by those kinds of circumstances. So you can read about that here. We'll link to this Cointelegraph article below. This is an interesting one. EthereumWorldNews.com. What's next for the Bitcoin price? Crypto analyst weighs in. Article here by Nick Chong. So on Friday, the Bitcoin price boomed, moving higher than $3,700 for the first time in seemingly forever on the back of zero catalysts. Altcoins followed, with Litecoin posting a 30% gain as a majority of other cryptocurrencies posted daily returns that ranged between Bitcoin's 8% and Litecoin's 30% mark. So what caused all of this? Some have argued that this was single-handedly catalyzed by the bump in Litecoin, as the hype regarding the project's block reward reduction, which is still about 180 days off though, don't forget about that. But its block reduction, coupled with its potential integration of Grin-esque Mimblewimble technology and or more traditional confidential transactions in the near future. Yet some say that it has more to do with the broader fundamentals in the cryptosphere, especially regarding the flagship asset and its not-so-walled garden ecosystem. Some notable fundamental news, which has been deemed catalysts by some, include Abra's launch of crypto-to-stock capabilities, rumors regarding the approval of a Bitcoin ETF application, the incessant stream of Wall Street-centric products, and funny enough, somewhat bearish comments from Fundstrat. So Fundstrat proposes all kinds of pie-in-the-sky mooning promises. The market retraces. But, when they come out with a little bit of more bearish quotes, I guess the market takes that as a good sign, because Fundstrat always seems to be wrong. So there you go. It's the tail wagging the dog sometimes, I suppose. I think those are some excellent points. If you want to read more about what Nick has to say about the Bitcoin price and take a look at some of the technical indicators, a lot of them are listed here. We'll link to this article as well if it interests you in the description below. And finally, on altcoinbuzz.io, you have an article here that you may want to check out by Chris. Will the Bitcoin price recover? As of February 2nd, 2019, we have been in the longest bear market Bitcoin has faced in its 10-year history. Yes, it's official, 400 plus days. Many people got into cryptocurrencies in the bull run from September 2017 to January 2018. Everyone, especially those people, have one major question in mind. Will Bitcoin recover? Chris lists a bunch of his personal reasons below as to what he thinks is going to happen, and he backs them up as to why. So if you want to take a look at a bunch of really kind of macro level variables that have informed his decision, his outlook on this particular issue, then they are the Lightning Network. You can read more about that. Institutional investment, which is incoming and there's no stopping it. Bitcoin having weak fiat currencies, and the instability of a lot of economic and monetary systems around the world internationally. Those are some strong reasons that informs Chris's decision. If you want to get to the bottom of what it is specifically, spoiler alert, he's a bit of an optimist, but check that out. Let us know what you think about the article and leave him a comment. And with that, everybody, do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Our last video is here for you to check out. All the best of luck if you choose to invest on this Saturday. Go ahead, smash that thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share. Have a wonderful weekend, and we hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.